Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I am Jason, your host. Looks like autumn has just started. I wanted to talk more about the Quingo and why I'm changing from it. The Quingo is an amazing mobility scooter, one of the best I've ever used. Why am I not just going to either have the one I've got refurbished and fixed up with the items that it needs doing to it, or buy a brand new one? I've never had the money to buy a brand new mobility scooter, ever. Every mobility scooter I have ever had has always been second hand. That's always bothered me. It shouldn't bother me, but it does. So when I looked about 6 months ago, I started to seriously look into this because I would have a chance at the end of this year to afford to buy a new one. And I started to look around and decide, what options are there out there? I did lots of AI searches. I did lots of searches myself. I checked on Reddit. I checked on all the different groups that I know. And having had a Quingo cut out 95% of what's available out there. It really did. There's the Quingo Tourer Mark II is so good that it edges most other things out. For example, its range, the 50 plus miles range on it, edges out most other class 3s. There's a few that can get close and only a couple that can do the same, and that's in the entire of the UK. A lot of the ones that can go further are not available in the UK. So it has that. It has a lot of leg room. It has really nice engine and motor, and can pretty much go everywhere. The Kimco Max ER is actually another good one, but that one, I don't think, from what I've looked into it, I used to have a Kimco Max and I liked the company, I liked the actual vehicles as well, but it didn't have a canopy, and from what I could tell, you could use a scooter pack canopy on them, but those scooter pack canopies, I tried one once, they're not as good. So having the canopy of the Quingo Tourer that was custom designed to go on a Quingo Tourer, you can fit it on one of their other models as well, meant that I was spoilt in that way as well. For winter weather, the Quingo's canopy, you've seen me going out in pouring in massive rainstorms that are so loud, there's that much heavy rain coming down that you can hardly hear what's going on inside the vehicle. Yes, Zaki, you're beautiful. Good doggy there. Come here. If you want to love, come here. Zaki, come on. You don't want to get on off the sofa, do you? Come on, come here. You're a good dog. He's beautiful. Let me just check. Yeah. So, there is so much about the Quingo that sort of gets rid of a lot of other things that I would have normally put inside the same running house. I think it's TGA do a few different models. And then so I was looking at different ones, and I came upon the cabin scooters. And there's a few companies that do the cabin scooters. But there's some companies that I don't trust. Nothing against them, but I've heard so many bad reasons, like I think it's Green Power, and there's another one that starts with V. And both these companies they have a lot of their parts from China, and they build them. And you see their scooters on Amazon and that, and they're about £1,000 usually, maybe a little bit higher, a bit lower. They're made to look really nice and shiny and fun and that, but a lot of the feedback is the initial feedback, wonderful. They love the delivery. The people who deliver is really polite. When they're buying it was easy to do and all that kind of thing. But once things start to go wrong with the vehicle, the customer support is lacking. I think even Watchdog or something did there was a BBC programme or something on about it who looked into it, because it was quite bad, some of their stuff was. So there's only a couple of companies out there in this side of things. Let me have a look. Why we're talking here, let me have a good look on. Let me open up my Safari browser and open up a new thing in there. And right, let's see what comes up. Right, so Careco do quite a few nice versions, and you find the actual companies that do a lot of disabled stuff that are actually any long term for the TGA. TGA is another company that make really good scooters. I'll just go into theirs, and the TGA do some of the better scooters. Let me look at one of those. Oh yeah, it's the 4-wheel ones. Okay, so the TGA Breeze X is a nice one. There's also the Breeze S3 and the Breeze S4 and the Scoozy. TGA do some nice scooters, and from what I can tell, they are really good quality. But the Breeze ones, I haven't seen a really good enclosure. I want a scooter this time. See, I've got the Pride Revo. The Pride Revo is perfect for me to go to the local shop, go inside the shop, go to the hospital, go to my doctor's surgery. It's wonderful for those short journeys. It's not good in the rain. My Pride Revo 2.0 still has damage because it got water damaged. Most of it was fixed, but its horn does not work, and the USB port doesn't work. So, but the main things work on it. But it's good for what it is. It's the perfect one. It's got 20 or 26 odd miles, I think. If you really go on the eco thing with it, it's can take up to 180 kilograms of weight. It's really good for it. Yes, doggy, you're a good doggy. So TGA makes some good items, and Pride makes some good items as well. But I was more looking for something that would be an enclosure. Something that, more than just the enclosure of the Quingo, an actual, almost like a mini car. In fact, the scooter cabin that I'm looking at has more items inside of it, and it's better for specification than most cars. That's the crazy thing about it. So that is really good. But I will always love the Quingo. If I could keep the Quingo and get a scooter thingy, I would, but I don't have the room for both. I've got to sacrifice one to get the other. And that is just because of my front yard is very tiny, and my side thingy isn't big enough to take things around the back. So I am limited to having it at the front, which it's just the way it is. But it was very hard when I started looking 6 months ago to find anything that had the actual capabilities or outmatched a Quingo. So that should show you how good the Quingo is. And the thing is, these new one, this scooter cabin that I'm going to be having, you won't see any reviews. I'll probably be the only one doing proper reviews of it, because literally no one does reviews of it. This is part of the reason why I decided not to get a power chair, because yes, I could use a power chair outside and that, was they're a completely different beast. And then the only version I really liked was not fully water protected. It didn't have an IP rating, and that meant if it was caught out in the rain, if I was caught out in the rain, it could short out and die. That's a no-go. We're in the UK. There's always going to be bad weather. We're always going to be at the mercy of the rain and that. So that's the main reason I couldn't go that way. So I will be discussing this because it is a big thing to buy, but I think I've picked the right one, and it will just take a little bit of time for me to sort everything out. I do have a couple of other options I'm looking at, but not. You see, America has some, but they're not certified for UK roads and UK paths, unfortunately. So they're out. Canada has some as well. Canada has quite a few of these enclosed vehicles. Canada and America both have these enclosed mobility scooters that are really well done in that, but they aren't certified for the UK. So if you have them in the UK, it's funny because when you get one of these scooters in the UK, you have to register. If you're going to use them on the road, you have to register them with the DVLA, and then they'll send out a license and a number plate. You don't have to put the number plate on, but you'll have a license number for your thingy. So it is a thing you think that you have to do. So this is Jason. I wanted to just have a little ramble. I think that's what my brain wanted to do, so I've rambled. I hope you're all having a good day. So bye bye.